What's up, everyone? It's KB, and I love movies. Tonight we have, I call him the youngin because I just love his whole vibe and his old steez. Joining us tonight, we have TikTok, YouTuber, physical media collector. What else I got to call you? How many different titles you got?
I
Former
those are fine.
Blu-ray King. He's
Yep,
he's
used to
he's
be.
graduated to 4K King now. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Man, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. So, what's the latest? What's going on with you?
Well, a lot of people might know, I would hope. I'm working on a documentary right now about physical media.
Hmm.
Um, it's been going pretty good. It's about finished.
Good.
The only thing we're trying to do now is distribution because we want to put it out on obviously physical media,
Hmm.
which seems like it may be the hardest thing. So right now, it's what we're working on. I'm sure everyone knows Movie Hunter uh,
Hmm.
on Instagram. He's been helping me behind the scenes a lot. He's executive producing this thing. So huge shout out
Hmm.
to him. He's been very helpful. And yeah,
Most def.
so and everyone who's sending videos and all that been very good. So yep, that's all I've been on right now. A few
Cool.
videos here and there on YouTube or TikTok, but nothing too crazy.
Cool. Well, look at that. You just answered one of my questions. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with one non-movie question. We'll get into the movie stuff. We'll finish it up with the hot takes. Before we do,
Okay.
let's check the comments to see what's going on in the chat. Shout out to everyone in the chat room right now. So we start off with my Adrian James. How's it going? Thank you for loving the interviews. I love them too. I love doing this. The most challenging thing you would think would be coming up with the unique questions for each guest, but it's the editing. But since I've been doing StreamYard, the editing has decreased. So I'm getting a chance to love it a little bit more. And we could do spontaneous things or we could do planned out things. So I appreciate you. We got Holland Oates. He's already coming with the jokes for you. We got the hot takes coming. What's going on, Bob? We got Bob Swilleray in the house.
What's going on?
We got the monkey. Thank you. Please hit that like button. And he will be on Huck's trivia night in about, let's say an hour and 10 minutes or so. So once we're done here, unless you normally go to like Movies and Soup for a Q&A, head over to Huck's Pop. Oh, that's such a difficult.
Uh-oh. Your screen went out and your mic. Uh,
Don't know what happened there.
there we go. Your screen went black and I couldn't hear you. So
You could
I had to
hear me?
exit out for a minute. Yep, I can hear you now. Sorry about that.
Okay. I'm sorry about that because I got a call coming in and everything just went haywire. Let's see. So we got Lapkey Vision in there. What's going on? Mika joining us. We got Michael in here. There's Huck. We were just talking about you.
What's
He says,
going on,
"What's up
Huck?
to you?" Everyone's saying hi back and forth. We had a question the other night why I'm skipping comments. If you guys are saying hi to each other, you're not saying hi to us, I could skip it. You know, it's all good. The monkey says Movie Hunter 2020 is the greatest man I know. All right.
Good guy.
Oh, actually 2 hours from now. Thank you for the correction,
Okay.
Huck. Great. So who else we got here? Peter Wiseman. We got a lot of people joining us. Thank you everyone for coming in and joining us tonight. Really appreciate that. So what we'll do is we'll get started with the questions. I could tell you that you gained major brownie points from me the other day when I saw that you were rocking a Tribe Called Quest album. Nice to find out
Yeah.
we had that in common as our favorite hip hop act. What other 90s rap groups or artists do you like?
I believe not. He's 90s and 80s ish. I'm a huge Ice Cube fan and a lot of his
Okay.
songs.
So Solo,
Also,
NWA, both?
yeah. Also, Big Papa, Notorious B.I.G.
Of course, of
They're
course.
they're in my playlist quite often. So, yeah. I now I'm not. That's not my favorite genre, but I do listen to a
Hmm.
lot of it. It's mostly the same songs. I need to branch out a lot more, I feel like, because
Yeah.
like I've listened to all the songs on that album, but there's only a couple I know, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I gotta get into that album a lot more. But yeah,
It's a
Tribe
great
Called
album.
Quest, it is a great album. I just love
Hmm.
everything about it. It's so unique, and I
Yep,
wish I discovered it a lot sooner. But
for true. I mean, it stays with you. Once you know it, it's like it's a part of you. So it's all good.
Award
Just to
Tour,
make it
best song on the album.
true, true. I like that one. Just to make the transition movie mid 90s, and if you did, what did you think?
I haven't seen mid '90s.
Hmm. It's interesting if you get a chance to watch it and let me know what you thought about it.
Okay,
Especially with what's his name as the director.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah, Jonah Hill.
Yep, it's
Um,
on my watch list.
among many others, I'm sure it's probably growing
I
every day like us.
I think I have a on Letterbox. I have a watch list of like over 700 movies. It's kind of ridiculous,
Hmm.
and I will
Give
probably
yourself
get to
time.
like two of them. Yeah.
Give yourself time. Um, what age did you start physical media collecting? Like seriously?
Um. Okay, so I started in 2019. Oh,
Hmm.
hello there. I'm on the big screen now. I
Yeah, we're
started
giving
in
you the attention.
2019. And Black Friday is something really special for me in a way because I started my collection on Black Friday. And I'll tell a little story quickly here. Um,
Go.
I used to be a digital collector, and I would buy the disc for the digital copy and throw it up on my Voodoo account. And that Black Friday, I would buy the disc just for the code, but I hung on to some of those discs, and so over time, when I did get a player and I got my PS5, I really started getting into the 4K format and
Hmm.
Blu-rays, and I think it just kind of grew on me having it physically, and so now I have over 2,500 movies on Vudu, but I also have almost about that on physical disc, which I
Nice.
much more prefer.
Hmm.
So I want to say maybe last year Black Friday. Black Friday is when I go big. You guys will see
Yeah.
if I put out a video, which I'm sure I will. Um Black Friday is big for me, so I've already purchased quite a bit.
Hmm.
Um with what I got back here last Black Friday, I got my 4K or my PS5, so I was able to play 4K movies. And
Hmm.
I think I bought every 4K I didn't own that was on sale last Black Friday. I was like, I
Nice.
got to test out the format. I just got everything. And yeah, so it's been a real kick since then, but
Yeah.
it's been very fun. So,
Yeah. 4K definitely is a game changer as far as I'm, and I, I did something very similar. I had a DVD collection and I started getting Blu-rays here and there, and then I went straight digital, dumped a lot of
yeah.
my physical media, regretted it, and then started collecting physical again. So my server is pretty big as well, but it's probably a combination of standard def and a little bit of high def because the focus was more on DVDs at the time. But
Yeah.
now I'm strictly physical. You know, I might watch a movie on streaming, but I'll quicker sell my codes and use it. I'm sure you could identify.
Yeah, I've actually been so since I don't work a full-time job, a lot of what I do is I sell my disc that I'm once I've watched them enough times and I think, it or I didn't like it, I'll sell it on eBay or something like that, or Mercari.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I get my money. But in other ways, I just sell the code inside if it's a new release.
Mm-hmm.
Going on, Ken. I sell the code if it's a new release, usually just because it'll like for example, I got $10 for that Top Gun Maverick code when it came out. Which I
Yeah.
mean, it not that one I was lucky enough to get sent for review, but if I had paid for that, it would have only cost me $20, which compared to 30, save a dime
Yeah.
wherever you could get it. So
For real.
yeah,
Yeah. It helps. I remember when everyone was getting their Top Gun early, like Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'd say even about Tuesday morning, you could push it for like $10. By the end of Tuesday,
yeah,
going into Wednesday, it was down to like $2, $4 at the most. So, it's really about the
well,
urgency of the market too.
yeah, and another thing is like right now Black Friday, the
Hmm.
like at Best Buy I spent like $75 recently on Black Friday titles.
Hmm.
And after I sold the codes, I sold all the codes already. I ended up paying like $29 for a stack of like 12 4Ks and Blu-rays. You
That's
cannot
pretty
beat that.
awesome. That's
And
pretty
like again,
awesome.
I just placed another Groove order. I'm sure they had a little sale there. Um,
Hmm.
like 13 titles, like 130. But after I sell the codes, if I could get $5 a piece at that, I won't be paying that much for them.
Yeah.
Considering they're $30 when they come out, at least most of the 4Ks, they're around
Hmm.
30-ish. So yeah, it's just a good way to help you invest in your collection a little bit, invest some
It's
more into
true.
it.
It's true. Um, let's get to the topic at hand. You even said it
Okay,
yourself before we went live. You said that you've become known for your hot takes. So,
I
with
have.
that in mind, what do you say to those people who think um, you're just trolling or you're just trying to get a reaction?
Well, I'll start off by saying I'm more of a like as much as I like movies, I consider myself maybe more of a casual viewer at that. Like
Hmm.
I like a lot of comedies that aren't, like for example, Fist Fight with Ice Cube and Charlie Day. That is no
Hmm.
cinematic masterpiece, but if that's on the TV, I'm gonna watch it. It
Right.
I will have fun with it, and I don't really look now. While I will acknowledge, if the movie's very well shot or if there's something very cinematic to it, sure. But
Hmm.
I'm going off of my or when I'm watching a movie, I think about how much I enjoy it. So, for example, Dune is shot very nicely. It looks great. But if I want to look at sand, I'll go to my backyard or head to the beach. I have no interest in looking at sand for 2.5 hours. It was
Hmm.
just too boring. I couldn't enjoy it. And fun fact, I fell asleep on an airplane watching this, and I don't think I've ever fell asleep on an airplane before. Like it's not a good movie to me at least. So I as I may have hot takes, but I go by
Yeah.
enjoyment. So that's really
Yeah.
it's really what matters to you when
Hmm.
collecting and when watching movies, and that's just kind of how it goes for me. So
Now, this goes back to something that we were talking about before we came on air. I was saying that a lot of older movies and in some cases newer movies, it's a matter of nostalgia when people like it. And like I said, the movies that you like today in 10 years, somebody might hate on because it's different stages of life and also how you came to get to know that movie. So if you saw it in the theater or it was a cultural phenomenon when you were 15, it's going to be different than
yeah,
20 years from now. And some 15-year-old kid is like, yeah, I don't feel this one. But the same thing with Dune. The reason I'm tied to it is because I read the book when I was 15,
okay,
ironically
yeah,
enough. So to see the representation of what I read on the screen done accurately is a lot more to me than somebody who just saw it as another sci-fi. So, but I get where you're
yeah.
coming from.
I mean,
Um,
if
yeah, go ahead.
what I like to say a lot is if I see a movie in theaters, I feel like there's a better chance I'm going to enjoy the movie Just
Hmm.
because if I'm watching Dune at home, then there's a good chance when I'm in 30 minutes and I'm about to fall asleep, I'm gonna turn it off and either go to YouTube or just go to bed.
Hmm.
Whereas if I'm at the theater, I'm glued to the screen. I'm
Yep.
there to watch it. I paid to watch it, but not that I didn't
Right.
on disc, of course. But not I feel more compelled to make it through. And so maybe if the first 30 minutes really is that slow, I'm still gonna get to that last hour and I may love it.
Hmm.
Um, but because yeah, I've seen some movies you would never think I would go see, but I've been to the movies with grandparents or my aunts, and they're movies that
Hmm.
I wouldn't see personally. But
Yeah.
the fact that I had to sit through them, I kind of ended up enjoying them. So yeah, that's why I try and watch movies in theaters a lot
Yeah.
more if possible. And I've been going to theater a lot more as of recently.
Good.
So yeah,
Very good. That's important. Opening up your mind to just more situations, more different types of genres, more cinematic experiences. Highly encourage all that.
I
Um,
saw Downton Abbey 2 in theaters.
I didn't
I
even see that.
I
I didn't
No?
even see
Okay.
that. No.
I also saw Miss Harris Goes to Paris. I doubt you. and and you want to know what? Downton Abbey 2 is one of the better
Hmm.
movies of the year, I think,
Oh
surprisingly.
wow.
And
All
I've
right.
I've seen yeah, I even went I've if I look back here, hold up. I even purchased the first 3 seasons on Blu-ray. I said, "You know what? That
Wow.
was a good ass movie. Let me." um and you know what? I don't think I would have ever gotten into that if it wasn't for me going. And
Yeah.
while I sure you have to watch a show, but with that type of movie, it wasn't obviously it was tied to the show, but it wasn't so much that I couldn't understand what was going on or didn't know the characters.
Hmm.
And I had a really good time with it. It's not a Marvel movie. Another one I saw recently, not to go on about this too long, but the Banshees of Inisherin. I hope I'm saying that right. The new Colin Farrell
Yep.
movie. You know what I'm
Yep.
talking? Yeah, that
Hmm.
movie. Although I didn't love it, it's a great movie in its own right. It's very entertaining, and I would say don't watch the trailer. I didn't watch the trailer at all. I watched it, and I'm glad I
Hmm.
saw it in theaters because that's just
Good.
that's one of those movies. You gotta it's gonna connect with a lot of people personally on a personal level,
Yeah.
I think. And yeah, it was a very good movie. So yeah,
See, the thing I like about following people like you, Luke Ponto, Jared Runner, is to me, you guys are the next generation. And for you to fall in love with film the way, in this case, the three of you have done, I think that's inspiring, especially to keep physical media alive. I mean, we could do what we want and drop a every couple of months or every couple of weeks in some cases. But that means nothing if there's no one coming up after us. With that in
yeah.
mind, what's something we older folks, I'm pointing at me, can learn from you, youngins, as I like to call you, when it comes to cinema media collecting today?
Man, I don't know that I didn't expect to get asked that, and I'm not really sure how I. Um, I mean, I think everyone has their own collecting style.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I own you know, I own some movies that a lot of people probably would not care to own.
Mm-hmm.
But so I don't know. I don't really have any tips for the older folk. um, because I mean, it's all subjective. It's kind of like a movie in a way, and that's really what it is. You like what you like, and you're gonna add to your collection by what you correlate with, what you
Mm-hmm.
enjoy, and yeah, I mean, yeah, again, I don't really
Yeah.
got nothing. You guys are all great people,
Yeah.
great collectors. So
And I
yeah,
have to say that the same for you guys too. I mean, I like watching your videos. I like watching your watch alongs because, like I said, it's a different perspective. And as much as we're trying to keep physical media alive, you guys are doing a better job of it because you got a longer run to make. So I appreciate you in that respect. Before we hop into the five takes, let's see what's going on in the chat. We'll highlight a couple of these here. So Mika agrees with you. on Black Friday, you got to go big. Looking forward to that haul video that you have coming forward. Let's see. Skipping through. We're talking movies here. Lapkey Vision liked Fist Fight. What's up, Jim Powers joining us? Let's see. So a couple more to highlight here. To me, a great movie needs two things. Since we have two eyes, story keeps building somewhere, filmmaking looks realistic. Yeah, and once again, like 4K King said, it is a subjective thing between those two things, for sure. Mika says, I love that you always do a pros and cons of a film. Very important. Even if you don't like it, you try to highlight something you like. It's art,
Yeah.
you know, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
there's something subjective about it, and there's something you could gain well from every movie. So I totally agree there. There's a nice little compliment. You could be the next Roger Ebert. I like that one. Nothing beats a cinematic adventure. True, true. What else? Thanks. Once
Well,
again, thank you everyone for being in the chat. We appreciate it.
I think nowadays there's two types of movies, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
You have a cinematic movie in which, I could say like the inner bands of Inisherim or so. I mess up the name of that movie, but that movie's very cinematic. And then you got Black Adam.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
it's not that it's not a movie and not that it can't be somebody's favorite movie, but it's a little different. It's there fully just kind of it's there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you kind of get what I'm getting at. It's just
Oh
trying to
yeah.
be entertaining and nothing
Yeah.
more. And while I don't think that's I didn't hate Black Adam. That's not
Me
to say
neither.
I thought it was a fine movie. It was not good. Well, it was good, but it wasn't like Guardians of the
Cinematically good.
Galaxy. Yeah, cinematically good. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking Wakanda Forever, that one I could probably put up there with it's one of the better
Yeah.
like superhero movies.
Yeah.
As it felt like a drama. I didn't feel like I was watching a superhero movie till I
Mm-hmm.
saw those Avatar looking things on the screen. But that's besides the point.
Don't give away too much.
Oh, my bad. All right. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. But I know a lot of people got mad at Martin Scorsese, and I'm almost borderline apologist for him. But when he said superhero movies are like amusement rides, and it's true. There's some
Yeah.
movies you go to for that cinematic experience and the art of the
Emotion.
movie, and sometimes I just go because I want a fun popcorn movie. I want an MCU or a DC movie, and there is a difference. But I'm in for both of them.
Yeah.
Got my man Tim in the house. There's Jared Runner, just talking about you. Let's see. Lapkey, once again, please go ahead and like this video. Share it with other people. If you enjoy these videos, at the end of it, give it a share, put it on your social media, let people know about it. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. I may leave a movie like Black Panther Wakanda Forever with a lot of emotions, which I
Mm-hmm.
did, and I know a lot of other people who did as well. Like, at multiple moments during the movie, I heard people like on the brisk of crying during that first 20-minute stretch. So that's something so special. I don't know a lot of places where I can go and watch something with people in a group like that and just kind of experience it all at once.
Yeah, it's like a shared experience.
Yeah. And you're not gonna get that going to watch Fast and Furious X or Fast 9 or Fast 8 or however many they do. So
Yeah.
while I do love popcorn flicks, I'm trying to broaden the horizon. Put it that way.
Yeah. We got a question here from Undead Media. He asks, have you seen Miami Connection? Best bad movie ever.
Haven't seen it. I'll have to add it to my watch list of 800 movies or
701.
whatever. Yep, 701.
There you go. All right. Thanks again for all the comments, but we want to get into the five takes if my man Roger is ready. You good to go?
I'm ready. Yeah, I've got my stack of movies here.
Nice. I like that. So, as we always do, we're going to start with number one. So, number one says, name the film that got you to fall in love with the movies.
Alrighty. Well, I'll start off by mentioning
Hmm.
my all-time favorite movie is Forrest Gump, and I'm sure a lot of people know that.
Hmm.
Therefore, it will not be featured at all for like the rest of this after I get this over with, just because I know a lot of people know that already, and I'm
Yeah.
kind of trying to get yeah. So first up, one of the first foreign films I watched. It holds, it's one of those that are a lot more. It's widely known compared to a lot of other foreign films, but that's Parasite, which I own two
Yes.
copies of.
Hmm.
Um, this one did get a lot of publicity, and not sure that I would have watched it if it wasn't for that. And I'm glad that I came across this one. Bong Joon-ho, he's created something here that's just unlike anything I think I've ever seen. It
Yeah.
you know, and you, it tells a story that's so compelling, but at the same time, it's kind of tragic that you can feel many ways about this movie, and I
Hmm.
think it's great for that. There's a whole another spectrum of movies. I believe this was what from North Korea, from Korea.
Hmm.
There's so many movies that I just have no clue probably exist right now, and there's definitely some gems in there. So this was kind of the movie that definitely made me fall in love with other movies in general, or movies in
Yeah.
general, just because it made me really realize that there's a lot more out there than Black Adam and Fast and Furious. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you gotta, and the acting performances are phenomenal. I felt there, it. Can I talk about? I'm gonna assume it's been out for a while. I'm gonna talk about it. When it's raining in their house and the house is
Yeah.
flooded, that scene was, while it wasn't very emotional, you definitely felt, very sad for them. And it was just, and the ending is phenomenal. So I'm easily Parasite, one of my favorite movies of all time. I had to bring it up.
Nice. So, number two, name five of your favorite films. Just five,
Okay.
any five.
Alrighty. So I was gonna bring Knives Out, but I actually
Good
realized I
one.
don't own it. So that's a Black Friday
Oh,
pickup.
try to find
I
that
thought I
steel
had it.
book. That steel book is
That
amazing.
that steelbook is awesome, and I love the slipcover. How you turn around. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about,
yeah,
I
yeah,
assume.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't want to
yeah.
spoil it, because if somebody spoiled Knives Out, I'd be devastated. But
Yeah,
let's
right.
go down the list here. The Wolf of Wall Street, Martin Scorsese directed. This movie's phenomenal.
Mm,
This is one of the longer movies that really doesn't feel that long. There's quite a few that I can get through and not feel the length, but I think the party atmosphere of this movie just is really compelling to me. The story, kind of how he went from, he was an average guy to the wolf. It's just kind of remarkable. The acting's great. You can't go wrong with Leonardo DiCaprio, and I just love this one. Phenomenal
yep.
movie. Next up, this is the only movie I've ever shed a tear or cried during. It's phenomenal. The Green Mile.
Mm,
Oh my God, I it
so good.
as much as as much as I like this movie, it's kind of one I don't want to watch like very often, just because of how sad it is. I don't
Yeah.
think I've made it through. I've watched it 3 or 4 times. I don't think I've made it through without crying, which it's it's sad. The acting's great. I'm a big Tom Hanks fan. But I don't think while I don't think Tom Hanks, and I'm sorry, I don't know his full name. Let's see if it's on the back here. I believe it's David Morris, correct?
The other
Um,
guard,
no, no. The one prisoner, the big guy, I
Michael
forget
Clark
his
Duncan.
Michael Clark Duncan. His
Yeah.
performance are his performance was phenomenal, and I know that when I bring this up, people say, "Oh, you just like it because of Tom Hanks." Tom Hanks was good in this movie, but nothing compared to Michael. So
Hmm.
yeah, there we go. They're not really numbered. I just kind of some that
That's
were on my
cool.
top 10.
Of course.
A Clockwork Orange.
Ooh,
This movie
complex.
is, yep, this movie is definitely messed up, and I
Yeah,
love it. Um,
yeah.
Stanley Kubrick, man, he's definitely, you know, I don't, he's got a lot that's over the top, I feel like, but at the same time,
Hmm.
this movie's just so entertaining. Um, Mainly because, you could be watching it either way. I know some people watch it just hoping for this guy's downfall, which I kind of did the first watch and maybe the second watch. Um, and it's again, it's not one I watch often. Same with Green Mile, but I think it's shot very well. It's a very good movie, and I just love that one. Again, I don't watch it often. I think I've seen it twice, maybe three times, and it's usually once a year. Next up is one I just rewatched recently, The Social Network, and this one was directed by David Fincher. Um, Now I'm not like a Facebook fan or anything. I just love the story of this, and it kind of reminds me of The Wolf of Wall Street. I
Yeah,
think the stories are kind of similar, um, but I love how the story is told by the court, kind of in a way, or how they're sat down there. Um, when he's with what would they call the judge or not judge? I don't know. You guys, I'm sure if you've seen it, you know. But the story's told by them, and I really like those type of movies.
yeah,
And yeah, Social Network, phenomenal. The acting's really good too. I think he played a good Mark Zuckerberg. He kind of there's not a lot of people who look like him, but I think he's probably as good as they would have gotten.
true.
Um, Next up, Get Out, my favorite horror movie. Get Out is phenomenal.
It is.
Jordan Peele, I think Jordan Peele is one of the better horror slash thriller directors in the last probably 20 years, I would say.
I
Um,
agree.
I didn't love Nope, but I still thought it was pretty good. Um, it's so it's it tells a story very well. I think when they bring in the comedic moments, they're very they feel right. A lot of horror movies try and add a comedic theme too, that feels really out of place. And I think since he was a comedian, which you have to give credit to the guy first off, he went from
Yeah,
a comedian to a horror director, and we've seen like Chris Rock. He tried to do Spiral, which not I liked Spiral actually. I didn't hate it, but he nowhere on the level of Jordan Peele. Not that I don't think he was trying to, but Get Out, best horror movie in my opinion. It's
hmm,
one of its kind. So there are my five.
very cool.
Yep, five.
Nice picks. Nice picks. Um, yeah, I have nothing more to add. You ran it down pretty well there. I'm just gonna.
Okay.
We got a lot of comments, and I just want to highlight a few of them. So Tim Talks Talkie says Parasite is amazing, and he says he still doesn't know what genre it is, and I think that's what it is. It's a very genre bending movie where you can't really categorize it in one way. Mika agrees that Parasite is such a
Maybe
great film.
crime. Maybe
Could be
crime thriller.
crime thriller, borderline psychological thriller too.
Yep.
Not in the
Yep.
sense
Yep.
that Get Out is, but different, but
Yeah.
kind of similar. Forrest Gump's the masterpiece.
Oh, let's see.
Um, we have a recommendation here. Tim highly recommends checking out The Host if you want to see another foreign one, and Snowpiercer if you want to see an American movie. Those are two
You
of my
know,
favorite Bong Joon-ho movies.
okay. I mean, I have those in my watch list, which we know I'll hopefully get to at some point. Um,
One of these
yeah,
decades you'll get to it.
yeah. I need to check out Memories of Murder. I purchased that one on
Yeah,
Criterion not too long ago,
yeah.
and I heard it was really good. But just to comment on the Forrest Gump thing real quick, since it is, but I know I said I wouldn't bring it up, but I've got a couple copies. There's quite a few I'm
Hey,
still missing,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I've
Too
got a
many dips
couple.
there. Too many dips.
Dude,
Let's see
they
what
just put
other
out
ones.
one from
Oh, what?
Walmart. They just put
Uh-huh.
out one from Walmart too. I almost grabbed it. I said I don't need it, but I almost did.
Oh man, we got Fritzy joining us. Yes, R.I.P. Michael Clark Duncan. He passed away. So he left us with great performances, especially the Green Mile. Uh, Green Mile was a first time watch this year, and he loved it as well. A lot
Yeah.
of Green Mile love here. I like to see it.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Michael says he finds Jordan Peele overrated and not that scary. I don't think it was meant to be a horror movie in a sense, like,
Yeah.
gore or like scary. It's
In
more
in the
like,
head.
yeah, and I think
Yeah.
movies like that, it's a horrific situation if you put yourself in it. And I think sometimes that's more captivating and more thrilling than, Terrifier or something like that.
Well, and you know
So,
what? Daniel Kaluma, that was the movie that really introduced him to me. He has
hmm
become one of my favorite actors. I own
yeah,
all of his movies. I will buy all of his movies that come out and I will watch them all because and I'm surprised I might have seen Black Panther before that actually, but I must not have just noticed him or known him at the
hmm
time. But Get Out was really what I said, okay, who is this guy? I got to find out more and I got to watch all of this stuff. And only one movie I didn't care for that he was in, which was Widows. I don't know if you've seen that one.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, I
okay, yeah.
remember that.
Yep, I didn't care for that. I don't think I made it all the way through. So, but
Yeah.
see, if you've seen it, you know what happens at the beginning. So it's not,
hmm
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I skipped over this one, but the monkey asks, "What film humbles you when you watch it?" That's a good question.
humbles me. Like, what would you? Hey Google, what's the definition of humbled?
Here's the definition of humble: lower, someone in dignity or importance.
Okay. Have you seen Just Mercy with Michael B. Jordan?
Good one.
Yeah,
Good
it's
one.
another one of my favorites. The performances are out of this world. I think it's very slept on. I've seen it 5 or 6 times. I do want to become a lawyer at some point in my life,
Nice.
and so that's one that's really been inspirational to me. And Michael B. Jordan, another one that kind of goes along with Just Mercy is geez, what I forget the name all of a sudden with Chadwick Boseman. That was really good.
hmm
Um, I forget the name. I just watched it this year. It was very good too with Josh Gad. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. But
Marshall.
Marshall, yeah, we are. I
Yeah.
think it's called We Are Marshall. Yep,
As soon as you said Gad, I was like, yeah, Marshall.
yep. That was a very good movie. I
Yeah.
don't think the critics really loved it, but I liked it.
Yeah. I caught it on video. I didn't see it in the theater, but yeah, I liked it overall too. What's up, Trini? Checking in. And Mika agrees. Good one. Let's get back to the questions. So we're going to go back and get to number 3. Name a classic movie that everyone loves, but you can't stand.
Okay, so I don't own this movie. Not surprising
Because
given
you
the
can't
question.
stand it.
Yeah, it's Anaconda with Ice Cube. Um,
You mean they got snakes out
I
there
know
this big?
it's really cheesy, and I know a lot of movies at the time were, but I just couldn't get into it. I didn't latch on, and I don't know. Maybe I'm due for a rewatch, but I really did not like it. Um, it was like a 3 in the morning, just kind of watch type of thing. So maybe I was just really tired, but it's one of those movies where I see it in my digital library, and I'm like, ugh, skip. I Yeah, nah. I'm an Ice Cube fan. I like his music. I really like
Mhm.
his movies. He's not a top tier actor or anything, but I just
Right.
like what he puts out. So I tend to watch everything with him in it, and that was really the draw. And it
Yeah.
didn't succeed, at least not to me.
Let's flip it. Number 4. Name a critically hated movie that you love.
Okay, so I don't think the critics bashed it completely, but it wasn't
hmm
that well loved. And I've seen this one probably 10 times. Pretty ridiculous.
hmm
We got the Belko experiment. And if
Oh.
Tony's still in here, it is in a baggie, Tony. I I hope you sleep okay tonight. And yeah, the Belko experiment is so fun. I wanted to bring up The Hunt. I don't know if you've seen The Hunt. That's another one that I don't think the critics hated that much, but it wasn't well loved. And yeah,
Yeah.
this movie's over the top. I think the idea of it is really just intriguing to me, and it makes me want like another movie. Speaking on foreign films, I need to see Battle Royale. That is on my
Oh
watch
yeah.
list. I can't. I want the
Yes.
4K set. I can't find
Yes,
that
you do.
shit anywhere.
You might have
But
to get the Arrow UK.
okay, is that 4K? Do they do that in
Mm-hmm.
4K?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this movie is definitely another one quite like this one is Mayhem with Stephen Yeun, which is another actor I've really been fascinated by recently. Um, so yeah, great movie. It's highly enjoyable. It's not The Green Mile, but I have a lot of fun with it, and so there we go.
Dope. Good choice. Not a common choice, but I like it.
Yeah,
And number 5, my favorite of all the questions. Who would you like to see me have a conversation with on this channel?
alrighty. So yeah, there's tons of great people, of
There
course.
are.
But I was actually on a live stream on Instagram yesterday, and I was
Mm-hmm.
telling my buddy Adam over at Bearded Four Eyes Man about
Yeah.
me being on here, and he mentioned that he's really been wanting to get on an interview. So I said, "Well,
Really?
you come join the stream, and you'll see at the end of the stream." So Adam, I think, would be a great pick. He deals in out of print Blu-rays and DVDs, so he has,
Uh-huh.
I think, a different mindset than a lot of us who are doing the newer 4Ks and Blu-rays. So
Yeah.
he's definitely going to be a fresh take. I think you're going
Mm-hmm.
to have fun interviewing him. So yeah, I'd like to see Adam on here from Bearded Four Eyes, man.
I wrote it down. And when it
All
comes
righty.
time, if you don't mind helping me set that up, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. I
All
believe he
right.
was in here a minute ago. I'm not sure if he's still here, but
Yeah, I saw him earlier.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. Let's just run back through the credits quickly. I want everyone to have a chance to get to other people's channels. You know, Tuesday and Wednesday is always
Yeah.
a tight squeeze. So let's see. Um, Great book as well with Just Mercy. Uh-oh. You said something that made Ken say blaspheme. I don't know. I don't know which one
Man,
that
which
was.
one?
Probably Anaconda. Knowing him, you probably
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, probably it is because the next comment was Mika saying it's not the greatest, but it's fun to watch. This is the part that that was just terrible. His accent was all over the place. Yeah, John Boy was like, ooh. Okay, so Tim likes your choice of Belko and Mayhem,
Yep.
very similar.
Seen
Bob
seen
thinks
Mayhem.
Just Mercy was excellent. Okay. Michael says he's seen Battle Royale. It was better than Belko, both similar. Yeah, I
I need
really
to
like Battle Royale. That is pretty good.
I need to see
Uh,
those Wreck movies. I think I don't know if they're
yeah,
Record or Wreck. That
yeah.
Scream Factory box set. I heard it's been showing up at Walmart. If I see it in person, I'll probably end up coming
Hmm.
home with it. So those those look like a fun time up my alley.
Hmm. Here's a little trivia. So the son directed the second Battle Royale, and the cast hated the director. That's how bad the sequel is. That actually prevented me from getting the set that had the sequels in it because I'm like,
Hmm.
the first one is so good. I mean, you don't have that, you don't get Hunger Games, the book or the movies. And, you know, I kind of heard like whispers about the other just being terrible. So, yeah.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Huh. Out of print DVDs. I might need to hit him up because there's a few out of print DVDs that I don't see coming to Blu-ray or 4K soon that he might be able to help me find. So
He
another
is out
reason.
on the search. It feels like 24/7.
Awesome.
So
Yeah. Wreck. Hard to find in stores. Third one is his favorite. Very cool. Well, my man, I want to thank you for coming out tonight and doing this. I told you a while ago, I said, I'm going to get you on. I'm going to get you on because I think it's good to have like a various cross section of people. And you're definitely one of my favorites that are out there and doing things. And the whole thing is finding your lane and making something your own, I think, with this documentary you're doing and the content you've been putting out and the variety with the social media, with the TikTok and Instagram and everything. I think you're there. I think you're there.
I
So
appreciate it.
I look forward to what you bring in the future. Tell people where they could find you.
You can find me at the 4K King on TikTok, Twitter now, although we're not sure how long that'll last. YouTube, Instagram, Letterboxd, which Letterboxd I love. It's such a fun app. I can spend
I
so
agree.
long on there.
I agree.
I want to say that about sums it up. But yeah, the documentary, we've really been working on that. It releases tentative because we're not sure exactly, but we're trying to have it out by the 23rd of December. So right in time for the holidays there. So yeah,
Nice.
make sure to subscribe or follow me to keep track with that.
Very nice. And thank you once again to the chat for joining us and putting out some great content for us to hop in on and join in on. So thank you. Thank you, Huck. Thank you,
Appreciate you
Mika.
having me on once again.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm actually gonna watch. I never seen the Belko experiment, so I will watch that, and maybe I'll have you on for that segment that I'm gonna start one of these days. I don't know when. Um, I don't know if you heard about it, but it's basically just called "So I Watched That Thing," where I mean, as I do
Okay.
these conversations, people always recommend a movie, or I'll say, "Oh, I never seen that." So my plan is to go watch it, get that person back on a stream, and we just vibe about it, spoiler free as much as possible and just talk about it a little more. I think that'll be fun, especially for the
Yep.
movies that people love, like you mentioned with this one. So I think it'll be fun.
Alrighty, I appreciate it.
All right, man. Once again, everyone, thanks for joining us. Thank you, Roger. And as I always say, go watch a movie. Have a good night, all.